Hey everyone, today we're making Hong Kong style wiener buns. We're using milk bread for the dough and hot dogs for the filling. Let's go. The first thing we'll do is make a Tangzhong using 2 tablespoons of milk, 2 tablespoons of flour, and stir them together over medium heat until it's a nice thick paste. It'll look just like this. Let it cool down completely before you add it to the mix. For our liquids, take a cup and a half of whole milk, microwave it for 30 seconds, and then add just a little sprinkle of flour before adding a tablespoon of yeast. Stir that up and set it aside to bloom. In your mixer bowl, get 4 cups of flour and 2 teaspoons of salt and give it a quick dry stir. Add half of your wet mix and combine it for about 10 seconds, and then take a moment to scrape down the sides before adding the rest of your wet mix. Crack in 2 large eggs, be careful of shells, and then mix that for another 5 seconds or so. Now add your fully cooled Tangzhong and mix that for a full 2 minutes on low speed. Add 1/4 cup of butter and mix for 5 full minutes. You'll know it's done when there's very little dough sticking to the sides of the bowl. Form the dough into a ball on your countertop by spreading it and rolling it around until it's a nice ball shape. Grab some cooking spray and grease up that bowl heavily, and then drop in the dough ball, cover it and let it rest for an hour or until it's doubled in size. It will look like this. It's so beautiful. Now punch it in the face. This does 3 things. It releases the built-up CO2, it allows the yeast to find a new food source, and it helps regulate the temperature of the dough. Flatten out your dough ball into kind of a disc shape, and then cut that into 12 even pieces. If you're fancy, you can use a kitchen scale, but I just like to eyeball it. All those pointy little corners tend to dry out, so to keep the dough moist, I like to roll them into balls before doing the final shaping. And that final shape is very easy, you just roll them into snakes. That's it. It just takes a bit of practice to make sure they're long enough to fit around the hot dog. Coil the dough snake on the hot dog diagonally, and get lots of practice because you can do this 11 more times. The key to this recipe is patience. We're going to cover this and let it rise for 1 more hour. Beat 1 egg with about a teaspoon of water and brush that egg wash over all of the buns. Cover every little nook and cranny. I bake these at 400 Fahrenheit in a convection oven. You can use a standard oven at 375 and do this for 20 minutes or until golden brown.